Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? You doing okay? I hope so. I just finished making homemade quick dog food this morning. I had some ground beef. I had a skillet that I made us two gourmet burgers with yesterday. So I threw that ground beef in there, started lightly frying it, threw in some fresh green beans from the garden, broke them up real fine. Not fine, but I broke them up, cooked that in there for a while, and then I put some fresh eggs in there, and all of that was topped their dog food. That would be Tashir and Solomon. So they're having breakfast this morning. She's running. She looks pretty good today. She is probably wanting to come in the house. I really need to go get some pine shavings, and it would be a great trip for her to go stop and get a bale of straw and get some pine shavings since I'm redoing the barn for winter. I also need to get some lime. I have plenty of diatomaceous earth. I have plenty of grit. I have plenty of oyster shells, I think. So I'm going to do that kind of stuff now. So that way I can get my barn set up. I'm also moving and rearranging stuff in the barn for winter because I do want to get everybody that's in the brooder barn into the chicken barn as well as Gandalf. He is a large bird. He's so big. So I'm still working on that. My husband did hang chains in all of the stalls yesterday for me. I had hooks, and then I had some the quick dog chains, the very cheap dog chains that I found very cheap. They were each one 15 foot. I had three of them, and we cut them down, and then we put hooks, and we have places for the waterers to go in each one of the stalls. Whether it's water or food, I can hang whatever I want to. Um, Once I see how that works, I'm really not worried about the food. I'm just worried about the water because it gets so gross in there. So I need to go get two of those cleaned. I've got all of my, see my wheelbarrow right there? That's filled with all kinds of feeders and waterers and dishes. I soaked them overnight just in the wheelbarrow. I just squirted them and got them wet. But today I'm going to fill up two of my bins with soapy, hot, bleachy, antibacterial palm olive water. And those are going to soak, and then we'll scrub them, let them dry, and then they'll get stacked in the barn. So if I move everything out of the brooder barn that's alive, then I can really clean in there, straighten up my shelves, and start getting a little more organized back there. But, last year was the guinea pigs. Here I was in the process of trying to grow some greens and things. I had all my grow lights, and then someone brought the guinea pigs to me, and it was like, what do I do now? So this year, hopefully, I'll get Gandalf and all of the girls and boys out. I really wish someone would come and get the two roosters that I have. I do not need these two roosters. I will always keep Tut. Um, Unless there is someone who really would like an older, wiser bird um, to start a flock, he would be perfect for them as long as they listen to me about his cues and how he works his flock and how he works with me on, he's name recognition, signals. So whatever, right? I'm talking about chickens. Here I go. I mean, if I wanted to do a video about things I like, it'd probably be chickens. Just saying. Or dogs. Maybe unicorns, because I think that's my granddaughter's favorite animal. Just saying. All right, so let's talk about something. Control. We all like to have control of our lives. We all like to have control of our spending. We all like to have control of what our children do. We also like to have control of others. I don't. I don't. I don't feel like I need to control anyone else's decisions. I don't need to control anyone else's actions. I don't need to control anyone other than myself. And most of that is self-control, right? Okay. Well, you know, when the pandemic came through and I was working in manufacturing in a factory, I got sick with it a week before the layoffs or the mandatory layoffs happened because I did lose my sense of taste and smell, and I stayed home one day with a fever and went back to work. I still couldn't taste or smell, so I probably helped spread it. The precautions taken after the fact was too late for many of us that were affected and many of us in that factory who died. Now, people can be anti-vax, that's fine. But you don't need to control the fact that I want vaccines. That's fine. You don't want to wear a mask and you don't want to take the responsibility of keeping your germs to yourself or protecting yourself from the germs of others. Well, that's your prerogative and that's your choice and that's your control. I prefer to control my germs and your germs from getting into me. So, control, losing rights. I heard MAGA. Oh, what play a Solomon here. I was up there loving on Solomon when I gave him breakfast. But anyway, control of this pandemic, control that MAGA called out against. Well, Trump was the president. Trump did not give you the leadership required to understand why there was such a call for masking and stopping people from just going everywhere willy-nilly spreading this virus. Of course, he mentioned injecting bleach and lights up your butt. Um, yeah, whatever. And he told you that it was your right not to wear a mask. Well, I personally feel that he was playing to you because he didn't take it serious. He did not take the pandemic serious until we lost millions of people. Millions. But you felt like you were losing your freedoms, your rights. Well, I feel that way now. I feel like your need to have control over health, having control over religion, our school systems, so on and so forth. I feel like that now that somehow having choices is something that the people that wanted freedoms during a pandemic now don't want for other people. It's called control. I didn't control you, but now you want to control me. Well, do you see the hypocrisy there? I mean, that's hypocrisy, right? Okay, everybody was so upset when Michelle Obama wanted to make school lunches healthier. There was nothing wrong with that. Because what was it? George Bush said that ketchup was a vegetable for lunch programs. Okay, you have to agree that that's absolutely absurd, right? So here's Michelle Obama, and she's wanting to make school lunches healthier. Okay, you're not having a problem with Bobby making decisions that other people will no longer have a choice to. But you're also okay with them just taking lunches away, period. Let's just take away school lunches. It's too expensive. We don't care if they eat, whatever. So, do you see the hypocrisy there? Someone was trying to make it better, and now they're taking it away. when the standard before that was that ketchup was a vegetable. Control. I don't want this to be a Christian nation, not because I'm against Christianity, because I believe that everyone in this country, as it was designed, to have the freedom of religion, the separation of church and state, which no longer is a freedom that those who called out they wanted less government control are happy with government to have control of. It's absolutely mind boggling. It's mind boggling. I don't get it. The people that wanted less control are wanting more control. Who you are, who you want to be, who you identify with. And this question that they ask, do you know what a woman is? I know what I am as a woman, but it's not my right to control someone else's opinion of what a woman is. If someone was born a man or a boy, because you might be born a man, you'd be born a little boy, an itty bitty little boy. And they decide that they want to dress like a little girl because that's how they identify. I don't want to control that. That's a lot of responsibility to control someone's um, identity. But the people who wanted less government control wants more government control over who you are and who you can be. Just saying. Healthcare. It is not the business of the government what I do with my body, but now it is because we have more government control, right? So those that wanted less government control because they had to wear a face mask and they couldn't go down to the Lolly Bobby's uh, hamburger joint now want more control. And you want to control us who in reality want less control. Just saying. It is mind blowing, boggling, and bizarro world right now. Those that wanted less control want more control. What Trump is doing is taking control and taking away our democracy. And you're like, oh no, that's just hyperbolic. That's just being crazy. Oh, he's not taking away anyone's. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He's putting our military forces out there because of control. And I'm going to tell you, I actually think it has nothing to do with anything than racists and wanting to stop protests. When MAGA says they're the majority, you are not the majority. Even if we take the highest side of the polls, 39%, you're not the majority. And yet, somehow, when someone hollers rigged election, the election was stolen, and J6ers go out there and want to hang Mike Pence and go in and beat cops and abuse cops, that physical violence was pardoned. Do you understand the hypocrisy of power and the MAGA mindset of we want less government control, but what you have put in is more control, and you're okay with it because it agrees with your agenda. But let me throw something else out there at you. The problem is when there's no separation of who is who, and the Second Amendment is touched on. Yeah, just think about that. More control, and then you will lose your control over gun control. Look at this spider. Look at it. Oh, I don't know where it's at. Ah! No, don't get on my finger. I'm not scared. I just didn't want it on my finger. There's a little spider. Control. Control yourself. You know, they say that men will not be blamed when they lose self control. When it comes to young girls, they're going to lower the age of consent. They're protecting pedophiles. Probably your president. The stuff that this administration is doing is criminal, unjustly, unconstitutional. So when you start saying that you want less government control and this is what you vote in, just know it will affect you as well. Y'all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. I need to get going. I need to go check on Tashir, see if she's okay. I haven't heard her in a minute. Bye, y'all. Hugs from a distance.